place reeks of Mako.
Looks like we made it.
Layout's the same as Reactor 1.
Yeah. We're near Mako storage.
Let's move.
Before the launch of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Barret Wallace was one of several characters we looked at in dedicated individual videos. However, in Final Fantasy VII Remake, each character's arc began to deviate from what we've been familiar with for so long in some interesting ways, Barret included. With that in mind, and with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the horizon, here we're going to focus on Barret's setting in 2020's remake. And after catching up on his arc over the course of the game, we're going to spend some time discussing what to expect from his character in the upcoming sequel setting. Several core details in Final Fantasy VII Remake have obviously not changed. That, of course, means that Barret is still leading a cell of eco-terrorist group Avalanche in the futuristic city of Midgar, more specifically Midgar's Sector 7. And is single-minded in his dedication to causing the downfall of Shinra and stopping the ecological crisis it's causing through its excessive use of Mako. Under his leadership fight Tifa, Jessie, Biggs, and Wedge, while Barret also has a young daughter named Marlene, though the full extent of those two's relationship, which has more to it than meets the eye, is going to be revealed in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh, and he also has a gun for an arm, and not just because it looks cool. The origins of the arm will actually be explained in the upcoming sequel. When we first see Barret in Final Fantasy VII Remake, true to his character, he's already in the thick of it. With Tifa, Jessie, Wedge, and Biggs in tow, alongside mercenary Cloud Strife, hired at Tifa's recommendation, who actually grew up in the same village as him, Barret leads the Avalanche group into Shinra's Mako reactor in Sector 1. Throughout the course of the mission, Barret remains untrusting of Cloud, but though there's some friction, the group succeeds in its mission, bombing the reactor and causing it to be destroyed, though what they don't actually know is that their bomb failed, and it was Shinra itself that caused the reactor to be self-destructive, causing destruction on a much wider scale than they had anticipated. After escaping and slipping past Shinra's forces, and already ready to move on to the next mission, Barret informs the people under his command that their next target is the Sector 5 reactor, and informs Cloud that they will no longer be needing his services. Later on, however, when an attack from mysterious ghostly entities known as the Whispers leaves Jessie stranded, Barret is forced to reconsider, and hires Cloud once again to take his place. However, Avalanche's attack on the Sector 5 reactor proves to be much more complicated than their previous mission. In the reactor, they're confronted through hologram by President Shinra himself, who, after a verbal sparring match with Barret, reveals to the party that he was actually the one who destroyed the Sector 1 reactor, and that he is going to do the same with Sector 5's, so he can then tell the public that Avalanche was hired by Wutai rebels, hoping to start another war with Shinra. Promptly afterward, the group is forced to take on a massive Shinra war machine called the Airbuster, which, in spite of being defeated, injures Tifa and causes Cloud to be separated from the group. Later on, as Tifa leaves to investigate Don Corneo's mansion in Sector 6's entertainment district, known as Wall Market, to uncover information on Shinra's next move, Barret stays behind in Sector 7. In Wall Market, meanwhile, Tifa meets back up with Cloud, who's now traveling with Aerith, and together the three of them learn that Shinra intends to drop the entire Sector 7 plate and crush the slums below in hopes of dealing a devastating blow to Avalanche, while also once again publicly laying the blame for the devastation at Avalanche's feet. By the time Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith make their way back to Sector 7, Shinra has already launched its attack, with Barret leading the charge against it. Much is lost during the fight that follows. Jessie and Biggs supposedly die, Wedge is lost in the rubble, Aerith is captured by Shinra, and the group is unable to stop Shinra from dropping the plate and destroying all of Sector 7. As the party licks its wounds though, they at least take some solace in the fact that before being captured, Aerith was able to ensure that Barret's daughter Marlene would make it to safety. The party finds Marlene at Elmira's house, who's Aerith's mother, or adoptive mother to be more precise I guess. While later they also succeed in finding and bringing back Wedge, who's heavily injured, but can now rest and heal up at Elmira's house. In the wake of a devastating loss, Barret, Cloud, and Tifa's next move is to infiltrate the Shinra headquarters to rescue Aerith. That serves as the final leg of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's suitably eventful, with Barret being in the thick of things right alongside Cloud and Tifa. The party is able to rescue Aerith, breaks a new ally out of Shinra captivity in the form of Red 13, faces off against the likes of President Shinra's son Rufus Shinra after Sephiroth murders his father, And, of course, crosses paths with Sephiroth himself. Here, Barret is stabbed through the heart by Sephiroth, almost dying, though the ghostly whispers save Barret and bring him back. After escaping from Shinra HQ, the party races through an expressway that takes them out of the city, with Shinra forces giving chase. The final roadblock lying in their way comes in the form of not only Sephiroth, yes again, but also the Whispers. Cloud stumbles to defeat in a battle with Sephiroth, though the latter simply leaves with a warning, while the party is also able to work together to defeat the Whispers, which means they're now free from the shackles of a predefined future. As Final Fantasy VII Remake comes to an end, Barret leads the party toward the village of Kalm, with the city of Midgar now firmly behind them. And that's pretty much exactly where Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to pick things up again. So what exactly should we expect from Barret?
An enemy of hers is an enemy of Avalanche.
Well, even though he obviously has every intention of reuniting with Marlene at some point, for now his focus is squarely on working with his companions to stop Sephiroth and whatever he's planning, and of course stay one step ahead of Shinra. Some key details about Barret and Marlene's past are also going to be revealed in Rebirth, with the developer having concretely confirmed that Dyne, an important character in Barret's setting, is going to play a role. Fans will, of course, already be familiar with what that will be, but we're going to leave it unspoiled for the newcomers here. The most exciting thing above all else is the fact that for Barret, and for pretty much every other character in the game, all bets are now off, and there's no telling what the future is going to hold. Now that the Whispers are gone, there's no guarantees that whether or not someone will be a part of an arc they were supposed to be part of, whether or not someone will play the role they were supposed to play, or whether or not someone will even survive when they were supposed to. All of that stuff is completely up in the air now. Of course, the developer has said that it doesn't intend to deviate too wildly from its setting, so we're not expecting any shockingly drastic changes where Barret's arc in Rebirth is concerned, but we're excited to see how much more his setting is going to be fleshed out and expanded upon, and what potential changes we could expect in his role in the setting from this point forward. And that brings us to the end of this video. A quick request before we conclude. We upload new videos every single day, and if you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon so that you can receive daily video updates. Thanks for watching.